Hello and welcome to this demonstration of the ShowTracker.net system. In this demo, we will be covering the steps for creating a new show. To create a new show, you will need to be on the Shows tab of the application. You will then need to click on the Add New Show button in the Show Detail window. This will bring up the New Show window. Once the show window is up, you will need to first select the show type. You have available a catalog show, a home show, or a trade show. For this demonstration, we will be selecting a home show. You can then enter a descriptive name for the show if you would like. The next thing you will need to enter is the date for the show. For this demonstration, we will select Thursday the 14th, and then a show time, and we will select 11 a.m., and then a status. And the status is basically the current status of the show. And for this demonstration, we will select Confirmed. And then for a company, we will select My Company. Now, the company is not required, but for best practice, it is wise to select a company, even if you're managing only one company. In case in the future you decide to manage multiple companies, you'll be able to sort your shows based on company. Next, you will need to select a lead source. And a lead source is basically the lead that generated the show. So for this demonstration, we'll select a home party show as the lead generation. And that is not a required field. That is more for your records, so you will be able to tell what types of activities generate more frequent shows. Next, we will need to select the host for the show. Now, the host is not required either. So if you do not know the host, or if you don't have all the host information, you can save this show with the information that you have now and come back and add that information at a later date. For this demonstration, we'll go ahead and add a show, and you'll need to click on the magnifying glass to the right of the host name, which will bring up the host lookup screen. Now, the host lookup screen has the contacts grid to the right, which will automatically be pre-populated with all the contacts in your contacts database. You can use the contact search on the left side of the screen to limit the number of contacts that you see. To demonstrate that, we'll put John as the first name, and we'll click on the search button, and that will limit the contacts grid to only the Johns that we have in our contacts screen. Now we can select either of these contacts, and you'll notice that the information in the contacts address as well as the show address is changing. So as you can see down here, we have two addresses for John Doe. Now, at this point, we will need to select the address for the show. And for this example, we'll go ahead and select the home address. Now, if for some reason the contact that you wanted as the host was not in your contacts database, you can add that contact at this time without leaving the screen by clicking on the Add New Contact button in the contacts grid. You can now populate the new contact screen with all the information for the contact that you would like as the host. Once you've finished all that, you can click on Save, and then you can search for that contact, and you would be able to bring that contact right up and add that contact as the host for this show. So we've got all our information in here. We've got the host, and we have the address. So we're going to click on Select. This will take us back to the new show window with all the host information populated. We can now add notes for the show if we would like, and this is basically just a free-form text field that will allow you to put in any reminders, to-do lists, things like the menu for the show. So when you go back to the show, you'll know what you have left to do. So we've got all of our information populated here. We're going to go ahead and click on the Save button. This will save our show, and the show will automatically pop up in our shows grid. And to see the details of that show, we simply need to select that show, and the show details will populate right here at the bottom. We can then edit or delete this show. So let's go ahead and edit this show, which will bring back the new the Edit Show window here. And then we can edit it, and we'll just put in to-do list here as an example. And then we'll go ahead and click on Save. And now you'll see, as when the details repopulate, you'll see the change that we made. Now, the next thing that we'll do is add guests to the show. and we click on the guest button. That brings up the guest list, and this works much like the host lookup screen. Again, we have our contacts created, which is pre-populated. We have our contact search, which we can use to limit the number of contacts. And we also have our Add New Contact button up here if there's not a contact already in our contacts database that we want to add as a guest. Now, to add contacts as guests, you just simply need to select the contact that you would like to add and click on the Add Guest button. This adds the guests to the show, and you just repeat that till you've added all the guests that you would like. And now you have finished adding your guests. This is also the area where you print mailing labels, and we will cover that in a separate demo. So now that we have our guests added, we're going to close this screen. So now we have created our show, we have entered all our show details, and we have added our guests to the show. One other thing is when we added our show, you can see that these counts incremented on the right hand of the show overview screen. The show overview screen is a very handy tool in that you can click on the link and it'll take you directly to the show that falls into that criteria. So if we click on the link under tomorrow, it takes us to the show that we'll be having tomorrow. And then if we click on this week, we'll see the same show. If we click on next week, we see the show that we created for the 14th. And if we click on this month, we'll see the two shows that we have for this month. And that covers all the information for this demo on creating a new show. You can see our other demos for showtracker.net at www.showtracker.net. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us at support@showtracker.net. Thank you for your time.